which is staffed by a major general, which has this symbol in this system, which represents one hand. They have no direct command, but they advise the generals on the larger strategic issues. The just shown civil democracy inside the army appoints the top military commander for that group. That it's called a fist in this system. Every independent army is called a fist, because an army is already under the army captain general. So, and above this is up to 4 armies. This is up to 16 armies. It's quite a lot of people. There's a colonel, general, so a very high military rank. And above that is even one more. This is a so-called campaign general in this system. And above that there's nothing. The reason the system can grow so large is because if it is a true people's uprising, which may span even many nations, who may want to coordinate their armies, you can get up to enormous military sizes, which normally armies don't tend to get to. In this system it is advised that by default 10% of the people rise up. Be ready. A group can rise up to this level, for example. Then there are only 5 persons, having 1 corporal. Then the entire group of 6 persons comes together in a civil democracy amongst themselves. They could assign rank or simply do it more casually. They elect their top commander, which would then be a corporal. This would then be a fist, so-called fist. If they group together with more such fists, if they decide to, and they integrate, they could, for example, become a battalion. Then they could organize, because they are now quite large, could more formally organize their internal democracy, elect their top and second in command. These 2 commanders will then run the army on behest of the civil internal democracy. Obviously everyone can be replaced any moment, civil and top military. By those who placed them at their positions. This entire system goes on until the Captain General, and it stops at the Captain General. The internal democracy of several integrated armies do not integrate their democracies. They keep appointing their general and their colonel. Their lieutenant general, corps general. They also decide how this army will integrate, if at all, with a so-called mutual strategic command. So there is 3 types of command in this system. There is a military command, which basically goes from captain to captain general, but these are the sub-officer ranks. This is called the military command. Then we have the mutual strategic command, which is like staff generals poring over maps and giving out advice to the generals. Please note that the general is a very high rank in the system. It's 200 people, so this is not supposed to be a complete idiot. Then we have the House command, that's the civil democracy just mentioned. 3 types of command. This one controls the military command and integration into the mutual strategy command, if any. So, that's about it. What is the goal of this army? It's no more than to defend freedom of speech and political assembly. That's all. Once that is established, freedom of speech and freedom of press, freedom of political organization, then all the other problems can be handled by debate and by voting, obviously. See this website for more details. Thank you. For who was paying attention, I noticed I made a couple of small word mistakes. This was not a voter group, but a council. Sorry. This is not 200 persons, but 200,000 persons. Sorry about that. And I once used the word army, where I should have used the word fist. A fist is an independent unit up to a maximum of an army. So this would be an army, this would be a corps, this would be a division, this would be a brigade, this would be a regiment, battalion, company, platoon, group, section, individual. Here is a schematic view of the army units. 5 soldiers for 1 corporal, 2 corporals for 1 sergeant, 3 sergeants for 1 lieutenant, 4 lieutenants for 1 captain, 5 captains for 1 major. Then it's all 3s, 3 majors for 1 colonel, 3 colonels for 1 brigade general, or say corporal general, 3 corporal generals for 1 sergeant general, 3 sergeant generals for 1 lieutenant general, 3 lieutenant generals for 1 captain general. Then it becomes 4, but this is the mutual strategic command. 4 armies, captain generals for 1 major general, but this is not a command interface unless the house command, the civil internal democracy of the army, orders their captain to take direct orders from a major general. And these are like a group of a strategic command, so the relations between these is more or less undefined. A section is 6, corporal 6, sergeant 13, lieutenant 40, captain company 161, major battalion 606, colonel regiment 2419, brigade general 7258. So maximum sizes, of course, or you know, the system size. Because as people are dying, they become less, and if there are more people, for instance, say there is 4 battalions, then you can still put it on 1 colonel, of course, or you can play with this a little bit, but this is the standard. Then the division, 21,775 persons. Corps, 65,326. Army, 195,979. Sizes above an army are called army group, fields of armies, and this is a little bit of a unique system. The extremely high rank of campaign general would be conducting a life of the campaign rather than. So we fight for life, say. We don't fight for death. (806). Time to get off the couch and start training. In addition to the mentioned systems, there is a land force, air force, sea force. There is also a special force which deals with once the battle has been won against a government system. That force is to be capable of erecting several or many types of government, not only the ones suggested in this system, and to conduct an emergency government to keep the sovereignty away from the generals. This special force is only to take sovereignty for a maximum of 3 months, use that time to organize a real government that the people want. And that's about it, I guess.